Reality slips far away, fiction comes alive, we start to play. Hope is no more behind the closed door as we drift away from where we were before. Hope and hopelessness become one, it's all meaningless, we've already begun. Yup, we are all one and the same, never opposites, we play the same game. So I listen to the world and right from wrong, stay focused so I can stay strong. If you ever wonder why I'm trapped inside, it's probably just because I told a pack of lies. Maybe a dream, maybe it was pride, maybe for myself I often wonder why. Until our very last breath, we're running after life, trying to beat death.
Walking in line between hope and despair, running from the truth, but it's already here. Told so many lies, I don't know if they can find me. Only one life to live, so choose wisely. Heads or tails, they even know beside your horn. Doesn't really matter if it's on the same point. If you wanna achieve, you gotta believe the time right now. There's the door, here's the key.
Chase the pain, don't let it fade away. There's a ray of hope beyond despair. Move on, look on the truth in this world.
Only one life to live, so choose wisely.
Let the world come, you should find a solution. Beat the twisted evil face. Just do it, go for it.
Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just to make sure you don't get in my way.
Yeah, I got it.
I think what you meant to say was, "Yes, sir, I understand."
This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Kim C4.
Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this.
Then, this powder must have spilled.
That's right. It could only have been around the time of the incident.
If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. These are footprints? And they're only in front of the left shelf.
How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan.
By we? Do you mean me?
How kind of you to offer.
With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
Well, let's go! Come on, chop chop!
Okay. So I got to work, and before long, I drawn up a sketch of the room. So, how's this?
Not bad. For you, I mean.
For me?
So, when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me. These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours?
No!
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
I I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said.
I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints.
Unfortunately?
But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to.
Then these prints are a really valuable clue. I should probably take a good, hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also remnants of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Kim C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Let's see. What's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit, Section A. Uh-huh. But wait! There's one bottle here that's labeled Kim C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? On this shelf is... One look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section C. So, on this shelf is... It looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are.
They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss.
Isn't that kinda harsh?
What? Do you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well.
I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements. Section B has reagents. And Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. What concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room.
So Makoto, how's your investigation going?
I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying.
Someone's lying.
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time.
According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out.
Well, yeah, I know, but
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it.
unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although, there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
That's totally normal.
Then, how can you?
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunity to touch dead bodies in the past.
What?
Sorry, never mind. More importantly, look here.
Her shoes?
You see that yellow powder on her instep?
Yeah, it really stands out.
That powder is clue number 1. Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully. Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain. It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head.
2 blows?
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing. Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one. So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail.
I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new? Something new.
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it.
A correlation? Hey Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
I don't mind guiding you towards clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome.
And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer?
I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with.
Only to a degree.
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right?
An experiment?
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too.
Uh-huh. Are sure it's okay to mess with a crime scene like that?
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here, so... Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass.
With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but... what choice do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up...
Sorry to keep you waiting. Is everything ready? Then let's get to work.
So, what kind of experiment are we doing?
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights.
Compare the weights of what?
The pieces of glass you collected and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact.
Why do you want to do that?
That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done. First, let's compare the weights of 2 of the normal Monokuma bottles.
It's balanced.
Which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same.
Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
Now, here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see?
Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out, or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
Okay, then let's give it a try.
The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
Just as I thought.
What?
The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles put it all together. And I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you.
Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Huh. This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think?
Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... on one of the pages, near the center of the magazine. A word had been written in bold, bloody letters. And it said, Toko. Could this be... a dying message?
Then it would appear you found it.
Kyoko, is this...
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it.
a dying message?
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking.
Hey! Is that says Toko, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Then she's the killer, right?
Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer.
I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious.
Whoops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring, I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay then, let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It's already time? But the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No! Now whatever happens, I have to make something happen. Monokuma made his announcement, and everyone began to meet up, one after another. And then...
The ultimate martial artist! A locker room murder mystery.
What the?
Oh, have you recently discovered the power of emoticons? Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive. For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body, XD.
This is just plain creepy.
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put it in a sad face, it makes it look super negative. For example, do you have 100 friends? T_T.
He's right. That does make it seem sad.
Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you all down there.
What the hell was that?
I don't get it.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
I don't think I'm acting casual. I didn't murder anyone.
Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
Whatever.
Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt, one of us is the culprit.
The killer. The one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. And that person is here? And that person is one of us? Come on, it's time to put an end to this. I made my way toward the elevator. With each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower, and as suddenly as always, the ride is over. The doors opened once again.
Just the 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few. You must be so lonely.
You say that like it's not your fault we're all that's left.
I wonder, will the class trial end with one less classmate again? Or will your school life come to an end completely? Now then, are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats!
And so, the curtain opened for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial.
ハンサム体操始まるよ。ワン、ツー、スリー、フォー。ワクワクできない。溢れる想いは抜けない。みんな集まれ。
Now, wasn't that just a despair indecent video? If you like our content, be sure to drop a subscribe and click on the bell so you get notified when our next video comes out. If you want to watch even more despair, you can click on any of the videos beside me. I'll see you later!